Boys and girls, there's the audio. Sorry. I'm trying to screw around with some of the settings. We're going to do a call-in show today, but it's going to be a little bit different than the normal call-in show. It says mic is muted because I'm testing something out. It's going to be something different, but you should be able to hear me. Welcome aboard. Mike is, let me know. There you go. Okay, I'll say we're good. All right. So rather than the traditional call-in show that we're going to start at 8:30, we're going to try something a little different. We are going to do a video call-in show kind of thing. So I'm using StreamYard, which is why you're seeing all this. And I'm trying to screw around with it because I wanted to have some of the little aspects like the ejector seat and everything from my normal show. So I don't know if it's going to work, but we're gonna attempt this. Gonna be a little different. So we're gonna have some people on camera. I'll be able to queue people up. This should be faster than how I've done my call-in shows in the past. So we'll see if that works. I don't know if it's actually worth doing this or not. It may not. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But guys, try to be nice. Try to be fully clothed. I see you, Frank. People, put your shirts on. See, I know some of you people like to call into the show, maybe sitting on the toilet, not wearing all your pants and whatnot. Let's try to be fully clothed tonight, boys and girls. So we're going to start that at 8:30. I wanted to go through a little bit of my thoughts, I guess, from this past week. I released a mock draft earlier today, which actually, let me pull up because I definitely don't remember every pick off the top of my head right this second. God, it's a good thing I saved this. If it actually pulls up. All right. So I had us taking number 2 overall. Zach Wilson. Duh. Number 23, I had the Jets taking Caleb Farley, the cornerback from Virginia Tech. He's had back issues. First or second back surgery. They're saying this surgery is not that bad. So if he passes all medicals, then I think he would be a valuable addition to this team, considering he's considered like a top 10 pick. I think cornerback and edge are two positions that I'd really like to target with the second first-round pick, the 23rd overall pick. Now, that said, if Kwity Paye, J.C. Horn, Elijah Vera Tucker fall, then maybe I would like to go that route instead of Caleb Farley. I think the injury concern it's still an issue. The guy played quarterback in high school, went to college to be a wide receiver, and had transitioned to cornerback 2018, 2019, and opted out in 2020. So, like, for 2 years of him playing, he's playing pretty well. we could use some help in our cornerback room. Now, I would prefer that probably to be an edge rusher, but based on how my board kind of fell, that's where we got the value. 34, I had us taking Wyatt Davis, 6'4", 310-pound guard from Ohio State. His grandfather, Willie Davis, is a Hall of Famer for the Green Bay Packers. So I think the heritage thing is right there. I have us taking Dylan Moses at pick 66, the linebacker from Alabama. I think C.J. Mosley is pretty far along in his contract to the point where we might be jettisoning him out of New York relatively shortly. So I think we are going to need linebacker help there. Tylan Wallace, wide receiver, Oklahoma State, pick 86. He's number 74 on Tankathon's big board. He's really good at contested balls, contested catches, 50-50 type balls. Dude had averaged over 100 yards a game since 2018. So super productive in his college career. Kenny Gainwell, pick 107. You guys know I've loved him, his versatility. Patrick Jones, pick 147. I am blown away as to how far down this man has fallen down draft boards. Now, maybe Pro Football Focus and Tankathon are just totally off base. Normally, they're pretty good. I had Patrick Jones as high as like the mid-second round when I had Sam Darnold going for a second-round pick this year. So definitely take this with a grain of salt for that pick. 154, guard Aaron Banks out of Notre Dame. 6'6", 330-pound guard. Dude had 30 scholarship offers out of high school. At pick 186, I went with a slot cornerback, Kerry Vincent Jr. I don't think we're bringing back Brian Poole, much to my chagrin. I really like him. But it seems like we are going to have to look a different route for that. And then pick 226, kicker Jose Borregales out of Miami. Dude has been automatic. The only 2 kicks he missed were inside between 40 and 49 yards. I don't know exactly which kicks they were, but he only missed 2 kicks on the year. Howard Perrell, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, wish we kept Sam. I am worried about Zach. Yeah, I think we're all worried about Zach. We are cautiously optimistic. We're excited. We can't really go a whole lot worse than where we were before. You guys want me to give away another shirt? I could give away another shirt. Let's do this. I put a link in the description down below. That link in the description down below will take you to our draft party. We are going live for the NFL draft. Me, O'Leary, and Greenbean for all 3 days, so make sure you tune into that. We're going to try and have some special guests on throughout the day. I know our buddy from Weapons Hot, Jimmy, sounds like he may be coming around. Trey, I did send out the shirt to you. I don't know how long it takes to get there. It might take like 2 weeks, so just bear with me there. But the shirt does go out. I'm not the one sending out the shirt. It's absolutely a third-party type thing. Like, I put in the order, I create the design, and then get shipped out from, I think, Michigan or something like that. Some guy is going to get a Sam Chai's shirt. Oh, that would be horrible. I got to take down some of the old Sam shirts on my site. Doesn't make sense to have those up anymore. But I don't want to overcommit on certain prospects. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Oh, did you comment on my, check this out. Right? How about that? Your boy's been trying to get a jersey for the longest time. And now I'm pretty happy with this new one. Don't wear this one a lot. Got my man gold. Feeling good. You guys all about Zaven Collins, says J.E. Trey asks, is it a Zach Wilson shirt? I hope so. It might be a Zach Wilson shirt. You'll see. You'll have to wait until you get it in the mail, my friend. So we shall see. See, you guys like the Mangold jersey. I'm a fan. Heard Sal is requesting that Gase gets hired as an assistant quarterback coach, hopefully with another team. Oh, that'd be great. Liam says you can only get jerseys of past Jets at this point. That's just it. Like, I have to go with the past Jets because if I go with the new Jets, usually something goes wrong. Not how I want this to happen. I don't know. We'll see. How about Samuel at 34? He's got his father's genes. Yes, I do like Asante Samuel Jr. I've been really high on him. I actually like him at pick 34, but it kind of depends who falls to pick 23. Just because of the way I did the draft, I didn't have the players I wanted at 23, which is why I kind of went away from Samuel at that point. Scott says Becton jersey is probably a safe bet. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about getting the Becton jersey. I still might do that if I get a... I feel like offensive linemen are usually a little bit safer, especially like highly drafted ones. They tend not to stink too much. At least ours have been pretty halfway decent. Knocking on wood right now. The CBS mock draft has the Jets taking Fields at 2, says JW. It just feels like it's such a lock for Wilson to go number 2. I mean, everything that I've seen from Douglas makes me believe that I have no idea what is going to happen. Like, ever. So, for all I know, yes, it could very well be Justin Fields. I've said before, I thought Fields fit the personality of this city. real well. Kind of like a gritty type guy. Knock him down. Keeps going. I don't know. Maybe that's just my thoughts. I'm going to be happy for Wilson, though. Dude's got a friggin' cannon for an arm. Jason says he'll take Fields or Wilson. That's kind of where I'm at. I just want to be excited for our new quarterback. I don't really care who it is. I trust Douglas in his assessment of players. He's at least shown to me that I can trust him in that respect. He's not kind of like a McCagnon over that way. I don't know. We'll see. All right. We are at 8:30. So let me see if I can get this to work. It may not. If it doesn't work, maybe I'll have to go to call-ins and then I'll have to change some settings because I'm going to start hearing a whole bunch of different stuff. All right, let me see. So I'm going to put a comment. I'm going to pin it to the live chat. So you'll see this pop up as a pinned comment if I did this right. Let's see. Come on, Ryan. There it is. Okay. So we got a pinned comment up. That's going to pull you over to StreamYard. So if you guys want to talk, we'll hop over to StreamYard to get some conversation going. Now, I have no idea if this is going to work, so bear with me. All right. I think I have to mute my audio. Do you guys hear an echo? So I'm delayed. All right, so I can have my audio work through Streamlabs, which is what I'm doing right now. So you can hear my voice this way. But the audio going to that, to StreamYard, isn't working. I see all you guys jumping into the chat, so it's pretty cool that at least that part is kind of working. I just got to see how to make you pop up and actually hear you. All right, let's do this. Anyone that is going to go live on here, I'm going to mute my audio on StreamYard. So you're going to have to listen. No, that wouldn't work either. Dude, this is tough. I should have just gone through StreamYard entirely. That would have made way more sense. All right. Let's see. Let's bring in Scott. Let's see how Scott does with this. All right, Scott, I'm trying this out. I don't know if it's working. Can you hear me at all?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Okay.
Yeah. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
All right, you can hear me now, I think.
Yep, I got you now.
All right, so I think there's going to be a little bit of a delay. And I don't hear it. So let me see. I'm just playing around with this, so bear with me. All right, they say it's working. And I can hear myself. So I think that works. So what's up, brother? Let's see if man? Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can get my timer going, too. Ooh, this is going to be fun.
We need the chicken.
Damn. Oh, got to get the chicken. Okay, I think I set this up correctly. Yeah, so what's on your mind, brother? Where are you calling from?
I actually just moved out to North Texas. I'm originally from LA, but lifelong Jets fan. So
nice.
It's all good.
Very cool. Very cool. How long you been watching the channel for?
Man, probably for like a year and a half at least, if not longer.
Nice. I like it. How are you feeling about this whole Sam Darnold trade in the NFL draft?
Sam Darnold trade. I thought we get really good value for it. I'm glad that we went through the valuations, made sure we weren't going to do some rash move or anything like that. So, and I like the fact that Douglas put him in a place where I think he has a chance to succeed as well. I think he didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? We did more of the damage, I feel. I'm a big time USC fan, so I remember like being so excited for him. Not only that, but I'm from San Clemente. I live like 5 minutes from his high school. So I watched Sam growing up, and it was just like when he didn't work out, it kind of sucked. But I'm a Jets fan first, so I understood it. You know, but I really want to talk about this narrative that nobody's really talking about, and how big of a key it is that we get this quarterback right. The fact that Kyle Shanahan traded behind us and said like, take whoever because I got a guy. You know what I mean? Is so key because we're bringing in his system. Okay, so it's kind of on LaFleur and Saleh and Douglas to get this right for their complete future. Because if the guy behind us looks so much better, whether it's Fields, I don't think they're taking Jones, but if they do, you know what I mean? Like, whoever we take, it's so key because he said, go ahead, take whoever you want because I'm going to get a guy that works too. So I think that's kind of an interesting point that nobody's ever really brought up. And just how big
I completely agree. It's a little worrisome that someone that we've modeled our offense after is trading up to number 3. He gave up all these picks to come up and get someone that he knows we're not taking. Like that's definitely a concern. I do think that there's a little bit of a I don't know. I think whoever he takes at 3, regardless of if, say, we took the quarterback he wanted and whatever, I think it would probably that quarterback is going to play better based on the talent that's going to be around him immediately compared to like a team that just earned the number 2 overall pick. So I think as Jet fans, we probably have to learn to take a little bit of a step back because I think we're going to get pretty disappointed if we're like comparing number 2 to number 3 with the roster that number 3 is going to have. But I completely agree with you. I think you're dialed in on that like concern for Jet fans.
Yeah, and which kind of makes it more of a pressing need at I think 23 and maybe even 34 to go offense. Like I understand we need a corner, but I don't think we're gonna win next year necessarily. You know what I mean? I think next year the most important thing is seeing that we have a competent coaching staff, that we have a competent quarterback that's gonna run our team and give us hope for the future. So I think those upcoming picks, it might be a smarter move to go offense, whether it's guard, you know what I mean, like whatever it is. And I understand if like Quiddy Pays there or something like that. There's so many edge rushers in the class or whatever. You go get them. You know what I mean, cornerback, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like that's the main focus of next year. Really, is making sure we got the number 2 pick right, and that the rest of this rebuild is safe sailing from that point on.
Now, do you think that with the rest of our draft, that we should do everything in our power to surround, say, Wilson or whoever you think it is at number 2 with talent, or do you think we should be looking at some of our other key areas like a cornerback, like an edge rusher? I've seen people kind of split on those decisions.
So I think the premium picks we have, I think, should go to building around Zach or whoever, especially coming. If I've watched his tape, at QB school and stuff like that, that guy has all the time in the world to throw. You know what I mean? And with the guys we have, he's not going to have all that. And yeah, he makes good anticipation throws and stuff, but it's a different speed. He's got to make quicker decisions, in the NFL. So I would use the premium picks, and then corner, like we got Bryce Hall in the 4th or 5th or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So it's like you could get value out of the corner and stuff in later rounds, I feel.
Yeah, I think surrounding our young guy with talent, especially like offensive line talent, like that seems to be the biggest fear for a lot of Jet fans. Like, let's just not shell shock this poor kid. He's coming in. He's got some pretty good weapons. I think he's got better weapons than Sam ever had, especially to start his career. But brother, it has been fun. You have been ejected from the country. Oh, that was cool. All right. That was pretty neat. So I think that worked. All right. Next up, we got our boy Eli. Eli, what's up, brother?
Hey, Ryan. What's good?
How's it going over in, was it the Lefty podcast?
I don't know. We're rebranding and stuff, the whole thing.
I haven't watched the last few episodes. I was pretty dialed in for a little bit, and then I haven't seen anything.
Well, we ended up changing the name to something to Jets, and then my dad said he wants to take a break to start in the draft because he's been working like crazy. So
There you go. Fair enough.
So we're restarting up in the draft. Time.
I like it. So Eli, what's on your mind? Talk to me.
I want to talk about Tua and Zach Wilson for a minute because I feel like no one's bringing up the flaws in his game because right now it's a hype train for Zach Wilson. Like you see all this, a PFF, all this stuff. It's all about Zach Wilson and how good he is. In my opinion, I feel like he kind of reminds me of Darnold, and it scares me in a way of that I feel like I don't want to say traumatized, but like Darnold left a scar. And they say how all he does is these off-platform throws. And that's what Darnold was, right? When he rolls out, he can hit you on the money when he rolls out. But the thing is, he couldn't consistently doing it in the pocket. I don't want a quarterback who won't be super accurate in the pocket, and then every 5 plays when he has to roll out, he throws a dart. Because that's not how you win football games. That's how you make a good highlight reel, not how you win games. So I feel like that kind of concerns me. His injury issues do concern me. I know everyone says it's fine. Once you injure something, it's never the same as it once was. I know they say this, but that shoulder scares me. That throwing shoulder really does scare me. And when you look at the guy sitting right here in Justin Fields, I absolutely love Justin Fields. Everyone says, oh, he's a one-read quarterback. But he's not a one-read quarterback. He consistently goes through his reads. He's faster than Zach Wilson. He's stronger than Zach Wilson. Has the same amount of arm strength as Zach Wilson. And I trust that he's had multiple years of good play where Zach Wilson's only had 2. I went on a bit of a rant there. Sorry.
No, it's all right. There's a lot of me that likes Justin Fields a lot, and I would have no problem if that winds up being the pick. I just sort of side with like all the media hype and everything that we're hearing about Zach Wilson and the wow, look at these throws, and then you see Chris Sims and you see all the different guys, talking about this. The one thing I do like is from what I've heard, Joe Douglas went out and had Robert Saleh, Mike LaFleur, literally like everyone across the team that he trusts to do the evaluations, do 5 separate evaluations on the 5 different quarterbacks. And then they come together and they try to decide what they like and what's going on. So I think they're going to do more of a maybe scheme fit than maybe I don't want to say an overall talent fit, because it feels like Justin Fields should be the guy based on like merit. And I don't know. I just with Zach Wilson, I think maybe with Wilson, I feel like he's way better at the play action than Fields is, and that could be me being completely biased on some of the stuff that I've watched of Wilson, but it just seems like he knows how to do that aspect a little bit better. And based on what I saw out of the 49ers offense, I could see that being a reason why they like him.
Well, in my opinion, a good coach will not have his scheme and only draft players for a scheme, but will take the best players he has available to him and build a scheme around those. Because if I'm going to use an example here, which isn't realistic and it's not close, but let's say you have Tom Brady and you have Phillip Rivers. If Phillip Rivers is a better scheme fit, you're still taking Tom Brady and changing your scheme to fit around Tom Brady. You're not taking Phillip Rivers because he is your system fit. In my opinion, I see it like that. I think Fields is the better talent by quite a bit. Zach Wilson is definitely quarterback 3. And I feel like just because he's a scheme fit for what we believe the scheme will be based off of the 49ers, we're assuming that he's going to be the pick, when I really don't think so. I think he's going to be the pick. And I'm going to root for him because he's going to be my quarterback, and I'm going to love him. And then if he breaks my heart, he does. But I still have this attachment to Fields, and I still think...
You're out of here! Eli, you've been ejected from the cockpit. Oh, God, there's so much, like, love lost when there's a the ejection via video format. It just makes me laugh that much harder. I wish I could hear. I can't hear the chicken when I do this type of show, so it's a little bit different. All right, let's see. All right, so we got Robbie. Robbie's going to be our next one up in the stream. He does not have video, but he is going to hang out and talk with us for a little bit. All right, let's throw in Robbie. Robbie, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ryan, I can.
What's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
I just wanted to talk about pick number 2. I'm fine with taking Zach Wilson or Fields, but if we don't take one of them, I'm not being a Jets fan for any longer. So,
well, Trey Lance is pretty exciting. I just would be a little upset if we took him as the second overall pick instead of Wilson or Fields.
Yeah. Also, about the number 23 pick, I would be fine with either taking an edge rusher or a guard. And I would not take a corner unless we were getting Patrick Surtain. I don't like any other maybe JC Horn. That's about it. I don't like.
Yeah, I really like JC Horn's probably my top cornerback aside from Surtain. I just don't. It's tough. When I was doing my mock draft, I was trying to 23 winds up being like a very weird pick for me because there's 3 guys that I really, really like, but I think they're going to be just out of striking distance. Like I think Elijah Vera Tucker, JC Horn, and Kwity Paye all go before us. So at 23, it's really going to depend who's on the board. With Caleb Farley, I had the Jets taking him just because he's considered a top 10 pick. And when you have a second first-round pick, you can have a little bit more of a gamble. Like maybe you make that pick at 34 and then you I don't want to say overdraft someone a little bit at 23. If you feel that risk might be a little bit better. Is there someone edge rusher wise or guard wise that you would like to see the Jets go after at 23 if Elijah Vera Tucker and Kwity Paye are both gone?
Jalen Phillips from Miami.
He's looking really good.
Yeah, I saw his highlights yesterday because I was looking at some of the edge rushers, and I really like the way he looks, and I'd be fine with him at 23.
It's phenomenal. It's like I want to say there's 3 Miami edge rushers in this draft that are going to go in the top 3 rounds. Phillips, Rousseau, and then I think it's Roche, Roche. Rousseau obviously did not play this year. He opted out for this season, which I think a lot of people considered him to be a top 10 pick at one point. And it seems like he's fallen down draft boards a lot. And I don't know if that's just because of how Phillips has looked and some of the other edge rushers or if I don't know. Do you think there's going to be a lot of players that opted out that are going to fall draft stock wise?
I'm honestly not sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough question. Now the rest of the draft, let's say we go with the edge rusher at 23, then 34. Are you looking at a particular path at that point?
I think in the first 2 rounds we should at least, or first maybe 3 rounds, we should at least have a guard. I would like to maybe if you can get Wyatt Davis at 34.
Yeah, nice. He seems to be the popular pick for a lot of Jet fans because he's been talked about for so long. We got to see him down at the the playoffs for college football. It'd be nice to have seen a little bit more good play out of him. I guess the last part of the season he had a really good 2019 campaign. 2020 was just but maybe that allows us to get him at pick 34.
Yeah. One more thing about the Darnold trade. I love the Darnold trade. I wanted nothing to do with Darnold back here for his 5th-year option at all.
It just felt like you had to move on from him. Now, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, the reads he made and the way he was mobile and he could do things. He can make his own plays and stuff, but the decisions that he made were not great, and I just don't like the way he played.
Yeah, when you look at I was looking at his college tape, and people were complaining about oh, look at Zach Wilson's bad, 2019 campaign. This is ridiculous. And I'm let me just look at his stats compared to Sam Darnold's stats and just sort of see interception wise and why it was so bad. And I was wait, his top in interceptions that he had in his college career was Sam Darnold's lowest in his college career. So I think the turnover prone mistakes that we got from Darnold, I think we will not get from both Fields or Wilson, whoever the pick is at 2.
Yeah, I just hope whoever we draft is not a bust, because it would suck to have another quarterback that's terrible.
Dude, I want relatively steady success for like a duration of time. I don't care like who it is. It doesn't matter to me. You could literally go any kind of route here, and I'd get something that works. Bro, thank you so much. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Ugh, that is so cool. So cool. All right. Next up, we got Trade 25U. My brother, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's happening?
Good to have you in here. Your shirt should be on the way. I'm pretty sure I told you not to give me your email address, so you didn't know what it was.
No, I didn't. I didn't give you your email address.
Okay. So it should be there. I don't know. It takes a little bit longer than like
I've been waiting.
I guess regular mail.
I've been looking outside like all day. I swear to God, I'm looking outside all day for that shirt, bro. But
I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Go on. What do you want to talk about?
This draft, though, bro. We got to get this O-line. We got to get it situated quickly, very quickly.
Now, what do you want to see us do? Is there a certain player that you want us to target? Do you want us to go in certain rounds with certain players?
So I like Landon Dickerson. I like Kendrick Green. I like the dude from Wisconsin Whitewater. I like him a lot, but a lot of these dudes are like centers. Like Landon Dickerson and the guy from Wisconsin Whitewater is centers. Kendrick Green is like the only true guard out of the bunch. I'm not too big on Wyatt Davis because what's his name? The guy from Alabama kind of babied him that whole national championship. Like treated him like he was a little kid the whole national championship. And Wyatt Davis is a big dude, man. So it's like watching that. I was kind of, hesitant about Wyatt Davis, but Landon Dickerson, hey, that's that man, bro. That's a grown man. That's a grown man, for real.
So I was looking at him, and I was going to have him at my pick 34. That was kind of where I was going to go there. And then as I was looking up, I didn't realize that he tore his ACL in the SEC title game. So he may not even start the season. Like this may be like a red shirt year for him to start, and that kind of concerned me. I think that's probably why I chose not to go that route. I think,
bro, because he tore that ACL. I think like 2-3 times. He tore that one ACL like 2-3 times.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
No bueno.
I mean, he's when he's healthy though, he's a monster, and he's real. To say he's so big, he's like he could go left to right. You know what I'm saying? Like if we think about running outside the tackles, he could definitely, get some good money doing that at center. But I mean, Connor McGovern is he's solid at center, so I wouldn't be too hard pressed to go with Landon Dickerson because he's such a liability health wise. But that's probably my favorite offensive lineman prospect in the draft, to be honest, Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, I want to see us double dip. I'd like to see us go after 2 guards. I want one with either pick 23 or 34, and then I'd like to wait maybe a little bit. I think I had us taking Aaron Banks out of Notre Dame, and he seems like he's like a good late round guy.
A lot of those guys from Notre Dame, a lot of those guys turn out to be pretty. I'm not saying they elite, but they get the job done at a high level. A lot of them Notre Dame offensive linemen. So I like anybody from Notre Dame, really. If we pick a guy from Notre Dame, I'm going for it. But at 23, I'm thinking corner. I'm thinking Newsome for sure. If JC isn't there.
So I was looking at Newsome. That was kind of where I was going to go with that 23rd pick. And I was like, all right, Caleb Farley's got injury concerns. And I looked into Newsome. He's never played a full season. So I was like, what the hell?
Really?
I was like, yeah, I didn't know that. So it was like every time I go around, I'm looking at like the different who was the other cornerback? I was looking at 3 different cornerbacks in that slot. And like the other 2 had injury concerns too. And I was like, I just can't get my head around this. 23 is the weirdest pick for me. literally the weirdest pick.
I think Caleb Farley gonna be a boss. Like if he fall to us, he's gonna be a boss. Because
well, that's just it. If he can stay healthy, like that's top 10 level like player that you're getting at 23.
Sure. I think he'll be top 5. Well, I don't want to say. I think JC will be like top 5, top 7, like his first year. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Caleb Farley. I mean, he's huge. He quickened with his hips. It's just you gotta stay healthy, bro. A back injury, that's not ideal for a corner. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
it's not great.
So, I mean,
definitely not ideal.
If all else fails, man, I mean, at 23, I wouldn't mind taking like a, I don't know, because it's kind of, you reaching either way, I feel like with 23. You reaching. Because, I mean.
There's so many, like, I feel like I have to see the board fall before I can really make my pick. Trey, brother, I love you so much. I can't wait to do this again. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Oh, yes. I love it. All right, next up, we got Eddie. Eddie's got a nice mask. I love it. Talk to me, brother. Welcome to the cockpit.
Thank you for having me.
God, this video call-in thing that we started this week, love it. Gonna be doing this moving forward.
Look, I gotta tell you, I love your mock draft. I watched it earlier. I'm not too crazy about Farley, though.
Okay. What do you want to do at 23?
The man is injury. I mean, I do want to get either a quarterback or an edge rusher. I'm just not crazy about that one individual. And I was thinking more of a lineman, more like in the 3rd round. But I think you convinced me. You gotta get one early, either 23rd or 34th, a guard or an offensive tackle. I mean, whatever works. I mean, but and I love your last pick, the kicker.
Oh, it's got to be a kicker. I want a kicker so bad, and I know you can get it at like any point, but just I want it.
I thought Blankenship was going to be drafted by the Jets last year. Hot Rod, remember him?
Yeah, we were all going crazy. We're like Blankenship, let's get him.
Yeah, and then they didn't pick him. We didn't end up doing too well, but and I gotta be honest, man, I was so sad to see Sam Darnold go. I know you kept seeing me type things about him. Sam Darnold's not going anywhere, and Sam Darnold went somewhere. Oh, it was terrible. But you know what? I think they're going to be a great team. They're going to do great with Zach Wilson. And after that, who knows? I mean, who knows what they do? But I have a lot of faith in Joe Douglas. I think he's doing a fantastic job, And we just got to see what happens.
The haul we got for Sam, is that like what you wanted to get return-wise?
Right. I mean, we were only supposed to get a 4th-round pick. That's what they were saying that he was worth, and he ended up getting a 6th round this year and 2nd next year. Let me tell you something. I went to the Jaguars little forum, and they were pissed that they just got so much. But they're going to get a decent quarterback in return. It's better than what they have. They're going to be fine.
Well, that's just it. I think when you look at the Panthers and you look at the Jets, it makes sense for both of them. Neither one has to trade up. Now the Panthers can build the rest of that team because they basically, when they signed on to that 5th-year option, you are committing that kind of money to Sam Darnold for 2 years. Like it's fully guaranteed. It used to only be guaranteed for injury. Now that 5th-year option is like totally guaranteed.
And
so it's going to be
get yourself a new guy.
Yeah. I mean, at least they get the 2 years. I don't know if they draft a guy next year or just still go all in on Sam and then, kind of wait to see how that transpires after that 2nd year. I'm rooting for Sam though. I love the kid. And everything he's done has been a class act. I'll say, the Jordan Palmer video of him walking in with the blue and the black balloons everywhere, like it just kind of crushed me a little bit.
Yeah. But listen, hey, I gotta go because this is really hot and I gotta get this off.
No worries, brother. Thank you so much for the call-in. Of course. Take it easy, brother. That was Eddie. Eddie coming in. Kylo Ren. Jesus. There's got to be a better way for me to do this than like how I'm currently doing it. Probably a little bit easier, but it's all right. If you guys want to be a part of the show, I have the link right here. I can have like 5 or 6 people on hold. So if you can't get in, I think that's probably why that's happening. Scott Wilson says rules said they didn't pick up the 5th-year option yet. So they don't have to pick up the 5th-year option until 2 days after the draft. So that's interesting. If they have not picked up that 5th-year option, that means they're hoping a quarterback falls to 8. So that's interesting, Scott. I think that's a really, really good point to make, because if they did not commit, maybe they have the guy they want there at 8. Then they say, hey, Sam, sorry, we hedged our bet with you. Now you get, it's him versus the other guy. Like maybe you have Sam look really good in preseason, you flip him for picks. I think you get at least a 2nd round pick for him. So if it's hedging your bets with a 6th and a 5th round pick or 4th round pick, it's interesting. It's interesting. All right. Next up on the stream, we've got Vinny. Vinny coming in on the stream. What's up, Vinny? Ah! Michael Myers! Ah! What's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit. Oh,
What's up?
You gotta be dying in those masks.
That's what I wear on Halloween to scare all the kids.
I love it. I love it. What's on your mind, brother?
Oh, nothing. I'm just waiting for the draft.
Yeah, it's been a long offseason from the whole Robert Saleh transition, the free agency period. Now I'm just like chomping at the bit to see who we're gonna get. I think between COVID happening and just like a miserable Jet season this past year and the whole Adam Gase thing, and then this long offseason, I am just so ready to get back in the stands, and I'm just praying that we have fans in the stands this year and like full capacity.
New Jersey at 10% right now. Vaccine, basically, some most medical experts say 70% vaccination by July 4th, which would be enough for herd immunity. So you're probably going to be around 80% around that. Could be at best. I think best case scenario is probably going to be 80. But
I hope so.
The one thing I'm glad for this offseason is it's quiet. And what I mean by that is, think about what's happened the last 3 or 4 off seasons. You had 2017, you had the Robbie Anderson stuff. 2018, you had Chris Herndon DUI. 2019, you had, what was it? Well, 2019 was the whole Mike McCagnon, Adam Gase beef. 2020 was Quinton Williams going to LaGuardia and the Jamal Adams nonsense. It was like, so it's one of the low-key best things of this offseason that, there's nothing for the media to poke at and laugh at us for.
Yeah, I feel like when we hired Robert Saleh, that felt like the redemption that like everyone had when we hired Adam Gase, and everyone was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And now like you hire Robert Saleh, and it's like, "Oh wow, okay, this is like super exciting." We haven't been the punching bag that we were the last like 2 years, pretty much. At least it doesn't feel like it.
No, that's been relegated to the Texans.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank God that. Well, hold on. Let me preface this. I don't want to say thank God that Deshaun Watson stuff's going on, because you never want to see 22 allegations like that. That is bad news, Bearcats.
No.
But I am very happy that it is shifted away from the New York Jets, and it's on another team. Let someone else figure it out.
Oh yeah. No.
John came in with a super chat, says use pick 34 and another pick to trade up into the top 15. So Vinny, I'll ask you this: what do you think about doing that?
I'm not really sure. I don't think that's Douglas. Douglas is not a trade up guy. It doesn't seem like his MO. He wants to stack picks. He's not. That just doesn't seem like his philosophy.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a guy that wants to give up cheap contracts. Like if you can trade pick 34 and like a player.
By the way, you notice what jersey I'm wearing?
I can't see it. What are you wearing? I love it. Name it.
Vintage.
There it is.
Kelly Green.
I just got my good friend sent me a Nick Mangold jersey. I was very, very, very happy. And I will be doing something really cool for him tomorrow. So hopefully he hangs around and watches that. But I love it. Now, do you think Wilson's the pick at 2?
I think this one, yeah. Were you the one who retweeted the SNY clip of him saying Steve is very well plugged in?
Maybe. I don't know. Usually, I'm so bad with Twitter. I try to retweet things that I find interesting.
That's saying it without saying it. When he was commenting about, when he was asked, well, Steve Young said, you guys have committed to Zach Wilson and are recruiting his family. And he didn't have to say Steve's very well plugged in. He could have just talked about the pro day. He didn't have to put that comment in there, but he did. He chose to put it in there. I think this boy, he's just messing with it. He's just like, he's having his fun. But, that comment is so telling. I mean, I'd say it's 96% chance it's Wilson.
So what do you want to do at pick 23 then, if you had your way?
Ooh. I'm not sure there. You know, the general consensus is to go offense after you draft a quarterback, but it all depends on how the board falls. Like if there's a good corner there, because look, one of the 3 interior offensive lineman prospects will definitely be available at 34. It's unlikely that both look. Derek Tucker's going to go before us, so there's probably going to be at least one of Creed Humphreys or Wyatt Davis there. And look, either way, you can be fine with either one because Davis could be a guard, or you can get Humphreys at center and you move McGovern to guard. So it works for the Jets either way. So like I said, it all depends. If one of the better corners is there, I don't remember the board. I'll have the
Vinny, you have been ejected from the cockpit. I love it, brother. Thank you so much for hanging in there. All right, how do I kick you? I gotta kick you from there. Okay, now the next person comes on. All right, Mike is going to be our next person up. Let me just make sure Mike is paying attention. Where's the private chat right there? Mike, just shoot me a little comment. Everything going all right? If I throw you, there he goes. Okay, he's got some video now. All right, Mike, welcome to the cockpit. What's going on, brother?
10 seconds. My dog's going nuts. I'm just going in the back real quick. I apologize. Ron, before we start, I want to say I've been listening to you for years, and it's nice I get to finally talk with you.
Dude, I really appreciate that. That's really cool. It means a lot for those guys that have really been hanging in there and just watching the whole growth of the channel, because I feel like it started out very crude and it's just kind of evolved as it's gone. And we feel like we've gotten a really cool, group of people that have tuned into the live streams consistently. So talk to me. What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
We could sit here all night talking about number 2, but I want to talk about 23, and maybe we can get into 34 if we have time. So
yeah, absolutely.
I saw your mock, and I agree with you about Farley. I think Farley is a top 5 talent that we can get because of his injuries. I watch his game tape. I watch his highlights. I fell in love with him. He's the best corner in the draft. I'm an Alabama guy. I went to Alabama. I go there every year to watch games with my fraternity brothers. I love Patrick Surtain, but he's better than Surtain. What scares me is the injuries. I see D. Milliner all over again because D. Milliner was cleared. They said he was going to be fine going into the draft. We drafted him, and he crapped the bed. What do you think about Farley, and are you scared from about his injury concerns? Do you think he's worth the risk at 23?
So that's my biggest sort of back and forth that I had, because when I was going through this mock draft, I had operated under the assumption that Elijah Vera-Tucker, J.C. Horn, and Kwity Paye were all gone. Those were my top 3 guys that I would like the Jets to go after. Now, when you get to 23 and you start looking edge rusher, corner, guard, it's all right, do I want to take Wyatt Davis that high? Do I think they'll take Creed Humphrey that high? Because it seems like they're pretty committed to McGovern. So I was sort of flip-flopping back and forth on those. I felt I could get one of those 2 at 34. So I'm looking at cornerback, and I'm looking at Newsome, and I was like, Newsome's probably the pick. He's one of the top cornerbacks in this class, and Caleb Farley's got injury concerns. And then I go and I look up more about Newsome, and he's never played a full season. So I'm like, God damn it. Okay, so that doesn't help me any. So I'm looking at Caleb Farley, and it says some of the reports I was reading said that they're not as concerned about the back. But you never know. It's such back issues are such a lingering potential issue. So am I concerned that it could be a D. Milliner? Yeah, I definitely am. But I think it takes a little bit of the sting away since you've already made your first pick in the draft. Now, if you said, hey, let's hold off, let's not roll with Farley there, and you wanted to wait till pick 34, if he falls that far, I don't know if he gets past the Saints. I think you do have to take him in the first round. Mm-hmm. And maybe the Jets are not the type of team that should be gambling on a player like that. We know we need a starter.
Sorry to cut you off.
But that's the concern that I'm kind of going back and forth with.
Yeah, I think if they're scared about his injuries, I think at 23 we shouldn't force the 3rd or 4th best corner because we're not winning the Super Bowl next year. Probably not going to win it next year. I think we need to get offensive weapons or even offensive linemen that can grow with Wilson. You look at the Kyler Murray draft with Arizona, and every time teams take, premier quarterbacks, they always stack up on the wide receivers. I remember that draft, Arizona picked 3 or 4 wide receivers. Some of them were throwaways. Isabella, they got Butler. They put Hopkins with him now. I know that was after the fact, but I think people don't like taking running backs early. I think a running back wouldn't be a big idea because we need to surround this kid with talent. We don't want to be here in 3 years from now saying, oh, who are we going to take now? Who's the next big guy? We failed Wilson. We need a whole new GM. We need a whole new coach and whatever. I think we need to stack him with as many weapons as possible, whether that's a running back. And I know you could say you need the offensive line beforehand. I think Joe Douglas is smart enough. He took Cam Clark for a reason. I feel like we have enough offensive line talent where we don't need as much as we all think. And I know that sounds weird, but I think we could just get some weapons in here, get a little bit more O-line, get a premium pick on an O-line, fill up the O-line, and I think we'll be good to go. I'll eject myself. Nice talking to you, Ryan.
Good talking to you, brother. Thanks so much for calling
man.
in. I look forward to your next call. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, I should have done this a while ago. This is a lot of fun. This is a good time. I'll have to buy the so StreamYard. I think I have to get there's like a $20 a month package that you can get rid of this little watermark thing, and then there's like a $50 a month package, which is like 1080p. So it drives me a little bananas because I bought the Prime version of StreamYard so I can stream in 1080p, but now that I'm doing this, a little bit different. Well, that's okay. We're having fun with it. All right, next person up, we got Liam on the line. Liam, what's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit. What's good?
Ryan, it is good, my man. It is great to talk to you right now.
Yeah, no, this is cool. I'm loving this whole video chat thing. What's on your mind as far as the Jets offseason, the Sam Darnold trade, everything that's been going on in Jetland?
All right, so my main reason for coming on this video chat with you is I wanted to talk about the linebacker core because I know the linebacker core is very underrated in the Robert Saleh defense, and it doesn't seem like we've shown enough stock into it. And losing out on Keanu Neal, that was big. We need that will linebacker that can cover sideline to sideline. I know he's a natural safety, but he's going to come in and be that will linebacker for us. And, we obviously picked up Gerard Davis. Who knows what CJ Mosley's going to do? He's going to bars in Alabama when he's supposed to be opting out for the season.
Yeah. Opting out for COVID, this jerk's I want him so far off this team. It's unreal. I was so high on him after the first 3 quarters of play against Buffalo. And then we just never saw anything. And then he opts out. And then we see the picture. And now it's okay, Douglas has gotten rid of Jamal Adams. He's gotten rid of Leonard Williams. He's gotten rid of Le'Veon Bell. He's gotten rid of Sam Darnold. Literally all the pieces that were McCagnon picks and brought in have been removed from this team. So I think Mosley's probably the next one out. So I agree with you. I do think linebacker is going to be an area of need for this team. So how do you want us to address it?
I mean, every good team, whether it's the Ravens, the Patriots, they always build from the draft. We're not gonna go to the Super Bowl by spending away, and we learned that with McCagnon. But that being said, I think this year we should probably pick one up in maybe the 3rd or 4th round, the guy you said from Alabama, I forget his name, but Zaven Collins, he's an earlier one, the second or 1st round. But yeah, we need that stud middle linebacker and that stud outside linebacker that can cover from sideline to sideline and be good in the flats, cover running backs coming out of the backfield. But one other thing is that we never know what Joe Douglas is going to do. For all we know, we could be rolling with James Morgan and we can take Jalen Waddle at 2. And
oh God, that would be so infuriating. I'd be so mad. I'd be so upset.
No, yeah,
but I agree. I think we've been so out of left field with everything. Who had any of the free agents that we had in that we got? Who picked any of those guys aside from I said Corey Davis was the only one. I didn't see Lawson coming in here, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I remember you said Corey Davis in your F Mary Kill series. He was a fuck. But yeah, he's great. I love Corey Davis. He picked in number 5 or something from the Titans. He got off to a slow start, but I really like the potential there. It's a 3-year deal, but it's a little expensive, but I really like the value. And yeah, I saw that you had Patrick Jones going like in like the 4th or 5th round. Like I don't see that at all.
I had him. It was he picked 1-0. I think it was the beginning of the 4th round. So I used Tankathon and I used Pro Football Focus as my draft grades. He wasn't even ranked on Tankathon, and I think Tankathon might only go through the first 3 rounds, and then I think Pro Football Focus had him ranked like way lower, and I was like, this is not where I saw this guy going. I had him like when we like in my mind traded Sam for a 2nd round pick this year. I had us taking him with that pick then. So when I was like going through it, I was like, this doesn't feel right. This is like, whatever. I'm not a scout though.
I remember earlier on in the offseason, we were talking about taking him at 34. And coming off the Senior Bowl, he had like 2.5 sacks. He was looking like a stud. But I have no clue what the heck happened between January until now, where he's like in the mid 100s. It's kind of crazy. Downfall.
This should be taken with a complete grain of salt because I am no better than any other Jet fan making mock drafts or any of this shit. So like I think there's definitely a large margin of error depending on which draft chart you use, because between you could look at a zillion different ones, and picks like 20 through like 90 are completely like all over the place. Like I've seen Gainwell fall like way farther, and I've seen Gainwell go way higher. Brother, you're out of here. Ejected from the cockpit. God, I gotta get better at kicking people and knowing how to do this. All right, Dimitri, I saw your super chat. I was gonna throw it up there while we were talking, but I wanted to address it individually. Dimitri says draft a guard/center at 23. Maybe we can get Asante Samuel Jr. at 34. I like Asante Samuel Jr. at 34. I would be cool with that pick if we go offensive line at 23, because I don't know if there's an edge rusher I love before pick 34 unless Kwity Paye winds up falling. I do like Jalen Phillips. I'm excited to see him play a little bit. There's some guys like a Patrick Jones that you might be able to get in the 3rd round that I think could be an interesting option. Like I don't want to go linebacker super early. I had us taking one in the 3rd round in my mock draft, but that's again like not a pick I love to make. It's just one I think the Jets could opt with, being that our head coach is a former linebackers coach. Eddie DeJesus, thank you so much for the super chat, says for the StreamYard fund. I appreciate it, my brother. Very much appreciated. Guys, if you want to join the stream, I have the link right here. If you type that into your browser, you'll be able to jump on. Kieran, words. You are going to be the next one up. Let me just pull you up. I see my buddy Jimmy waiting in the wings as well. He points to me. I see you, dude. All right, Kieran, what's up, brother?
Hello.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm good.
Kieran, I'm like, words are hard for me.
You're fine. So
talk to me. What's on your mind?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind Wilson. I know I like Wilson more than Fields, but I wouldn't really mind Fields at 2. I think he's getting a little overhated because, I don't know, because he's just been like a top prospect for so long that well,
that's what kills me is he's been like, he was the number 2 quarterback coming out of high school. He beat Trevor Lawrence for the MVP in like that quarterback camp run by Dilfer. He has great seasons. I don't know. It feels like he should be the pick based on all the merits that he's had since his got out of high school. But then Wilson kind of comes out of nowhere, and then everyone falls in love with his arm and everything. Should we be concerned about that, you think?
I don't know. Yeah, because I remember it was being December. I don't know, and everyone was like Zach Wilson, and I didn't and then I started watching film, and I was like, well, I don't know. I like both of these guys. I don't really mind Wilson or Fields. I think they're both good. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the fear of what Wilson could be, because he did play a lower level of competition. Now, I do think he had a lower level of talent on his team, but his offensive line, I think, was top 5 in the country. It was one of the best offensive lines around. So I can't stress enough, the Jets have to get it right on the O-line for any of these quarterbacks to really have success.
Yeah, and what was it? He faced 2 to 3 NFL caliber quarterbacks or cornerbacks. I don't know. My biggest fear is Darnold being good in Carolina. We're gonna be the biggest joke of the NFL. Oh, that would suck so bad.
I hope he doesn't have a phenomenal year right off the bat. If he goes for 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns, and like 10 picks, I'm just gonna be like, oh, we suck. It's just
we'll be like
more doom and gloom for us Jet fans.
Yeah, like before we traded Darnold, I really like Rashawn Slater. I love Rashawn Slater. I wouldn't mind trading down to 8 before we traded him and picking Slater.
Yeah. So you would have moved back and he's what, the tackle?
Yeah.
From I have a hard time going tackle because I don't hate fan. I think preseason, not having preseason last year hurt the gelling of our offensive line last year. Like I think if we had that aspect of it, then I think we would have seen a better offensive line last season. Not that we were like really good, but I think cohesion with the offensive unit is so key. And when you don't get those reps, I think it's tough. I think Sam not having a preseason as well hurt him because of all the time he missed the year prior.
What is it, like 3 games for a preseason now and 17 games?
Yeah, they're doing 3 preseason games and they're doing the 17 regular season games.
Yeah, and at 20,
and we have 7 playoff teams now.
Yeah,
as of this past year too. So
and at 23, I like JC Horn, Farley. I like Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia.
I do like him. I was looking at him. The only reason I didn't have us taking him is because the draft report that I saw, or the draft profile, said he might be more of a 3-4 linebacker, which I hadn't really considered. Or maybe it was the weight. I looked at so many different guys, and I was trying to go off what like the 49ers did last year and the size and weights of those guys versus like their smallest guy I think was 6'5", 250 pounds. I want to say Ojulari might have been on the lighter side of that, which is why they had him pegged for like outside linebacker.
I like Creed Humphrey at 34 too. I like Creed Humphrey a lot at Oklahoma.
I do like Creed Humphrey. Do you think they want to roll with McGovern, or do you think there is a thought that they want to draft their next center and did not want to go after Lindsley?
I don't think McGovern was like horrible last year. He wasn't like terrible, but like I don't know.
He had a good last half of the season. Based on what I saw from Jets X Factor, they were very high on him from like weeks. I want to say it was like 7 through the end of the year. So that's sort of why I felt like if we have a full preseason, you get those 3 games and you get everyone kind of working together like that, then maybe you'll see a more cohesive unit than we saw all of last year.
And who's that tackle? I don't know. He's like 6'9", 400 pounds or something. I don't know what his name is.
I love him. He's gone though. Or he's not gone. He's going back to school from what I heard. Daniel Falele.
Yeah.
Out of, was it Minnesota, I think?
I don't know, but I was like, maybe
he's enormous.
Yeah, if he falls to us in the 4th round, it's kind of like a shot in the dark. You know, he could
yeah. That's what I was hoping for, but I guess it makes sense. He opted out this past year for COVID, and he's only been playing for 3 years. So, or I guess 2 years. This would be his 3rd. So I guess him opting out is probably going to help his draft stock tremendously next year. But brother, thank you so much for the call, and you have been ejected from the cockpit. Guys, if you want to get in on the stream, all you got to do is put this link in your browser, and it'll pop up. I see some guys in the chat saying we should set a precedent. We're gonna have to have video. Gonna have to have video. We'll see how that works. I'm not necessarily sold on it one way or the other. It doesn't matter to me. You guys have seen this man before. He's been on the channel. My brother Jimmy joins the chat. Jimmy, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Talk to me, Jimmy. How you feeling tonight?
Man, I'm good. I'm feeling good right now. So I've been hearing a lot, Ryan. I've been hearing a lot about cornerback. Let me just tell you something about cornerback. We can take cornerback in the 5th round, and it will be an absolute steal, just like Bryce Hall was an absolute steal. The fact of the matter is, we're going to be drafting a quarterback at 2. We don't need to talk about that. We all know who it is. We all know what's going to happen. 23. If we don't draft Creed Humphrey at 23, Creed Humphrey is going number 24 to the Pittsburgh Steelers because of the Marquise Pouncey retirement. That is an absolute need for them. Tomlin loves his O-line, so you have to take the best center prospect, in my opinion, after the deep dives that I've done in the last decade. Creed Humphrey is the best center that's been coming up.
Now, do you think they like McGovern though? Like that's for me. That's why I didn't have them going with Creed Humphrey, because I hear you. I think the Pouncey retirement with the Steelers. If you want Humphrey, you have to take him at 23. You cannot risk him being there at 34. So do you think they want to roll McGovern, or do you think it was like they didn't want to get Lindsley and they'd rather kind of reassess now?
Let me point out something that I think a lot of people are forgetting about Connor McGovern, okay? Connor McGovern, what has Joe Douglas been saying for the last 2 years? Is we want to build this team through the draft. Connor McGovern was still a free agent signing. So I don't believe that he is a long-term solution in the mind of Joe Douglas. I believe that Joe Douglas wants to get his next Nick Mangold, and he wants to build that O-line through the draft. McGovern is still serviceable at center. He can be good depth if something were to happen, or spell Creed Humphrey here and there. But you can slide McGovern over to guard. That's building two positions at one time. I'm a fan of taking. I don't care what the numbers say or the injuries say. I think Wyatt Davis at 34 is if you want to protect the quarterback, if you draft a new quarterback, let's keep him upright first and foremost. I think our wide receiver core is absolutely set at the very least for 2021, right? So I think that's good. I think in the Shanahan-LaFleur system, I think Tevin Coleman is a great addition. I think that our stable of wide running backs is perfectly fine. I know everybody loves Kenny Gainwell. I know everybody loves Chuba Hubbard in the mid rounds. I just don't think it's needed this year. So we can focus this year on more positions of need, which is get a pipeline edge rusher, give me Patrick Jones in the 4th round, stuff like that. But I just don't think that corner is something that we need to take in the first 2 picks. I know Matt O'Leary, I just watched his video. He was talking about, we have to get a premier corner. And I think Kerry Vincent Jr. is that premier corner. And the reason I think that is because everybody talks about how he's a slot corner. Well, yeah, if you're sitting next to Derek Stingley Jr., you're going to be pushed to the slot too. Derek Stingley Jr. is like the best cornerback in college football right now. So you're going to play out of position if you're sitting on the same roster as him. But Kerry Vincent has the speed. He has the mobility. I've played corner. I know what I look for in corners. He's got some things to work on, which is why he isn't a first-round talent. But I think that Kerry Vincent is going to be that opposite guy for Bryce Hall, and we can figure out slot corner down the road. But the way they built the front 7 in free agency, I think is going to help the cornerback room that we have now. Like everybody forgets, like the coaching staff is like the best thing that's happened to the Jets in the last 5 years. So
well, that's huge. That in and of itself, like you take the same roster and you plug in Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur and all the guys they've brought in, and I think this team, no way in hell does this team get the 2nd overall pick. Like even if you have Sam Darnold as your quarterback again, like it feels like you're very much gearing yourself to go in the right direction with this unit, regardless of who's drafted.
Sure. So that's what I had to call in to say. I know my time's running out, guys, but I wanted to say thank you. And Ryan, I'm happy to talk to you again. We're going to do this again. So we have Weapons Hot coming. You guys are doing your day 1 through day 3 stream. Weapons Hot is doing first round, and we're going to have a whole bunch of cool stuff. We got some pretty cool guests coming on too. So if you guys want to swap back and forth, I greatly appreciate it.
I love it. Jimmy, we'll have you on for the second day. I was talking to Green Bean and O'Leary about it, so we'll definitely have you looped in on that. Brother, you've been ejected from the cockpit. The chicken flew across the screen. Sorry, dude. I love it. I love it. Guys, if you want to get in on the stream, all you got to do is put this link in your browser, and then I will go through and I will queue you up as we go. Next up, we got Anthony G. Anthony G is coming on the stream. What's up, brother?
What's up?
How goes it, dude?
Just wait basically for the draft, man. I can't wait.
So what's on your mind? What do you want to see the Jets do? I think we all know quarterback's happening at 2. So what's going on later on in the draft? What do you want to see?
I'm kind of undecided. I'm not sure what we want to do at 23 yet. I'm expecting either a corner or an offensive lineman. This is what I expect. Okay, obviously we're going quarterback at 2. With the 23rd overall pick, I would expect a corner, and then with the 34th we go offensive lineman. I would go Wilson 2, Farley 23, and Creed Humphrey 34. And I really think it's best for us to move McGovern to guard. That's what I would do.
So Jimmy was just on. He thinks that McGovern doesn't get, or he thinks, Creed Humphrey doesn't get past the Steelers at pick 24. Would you be all right if we had to take Creed Humphrey at 23?
I'd be fine with that.
Then at 34, would you try to look cornerback, or would you still look for like that Wyatt Davis, or would it be like?
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, I think there's a few different ways we could go, and 23 is a hard pick for me because I really want to see who's available. I feel like it almost has to be a premium position.
Yeah. And if anything, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to go running back, but if we're going to, I would expect us to do it 3rd or 4th round. And the names that I expect are either Javonte Williams out of North Carolina or Michael Carter out of North Carolina. Those are the 2 guys I'm looking at. And if you want to go 5th round, maybe Chuba Hubbard. I can't say his name, dude.
Yeah, however you pronounce it.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard.
I've seen the Jets linked to the 2 North Carolina running backs.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know where I saw that. I don't know if it was a Schefter thing or some Connor Hughes or something like that. For me, it feels like Douglas wouldn't want to invest very highly in running back.
Yeah,
like, as much as I think it'd be cool to see like a 3rd round running back, it feels like that's more of a like by committee.
Yeah, that's what
thing.
I've been talking about for weeks. I don't see us picking ETN or Najee Harris, especially at 23. I don't expect it at all.
Yeah, no shot.
A few months ago, it was in the talk, but now I don't see it in the talk anymore.
Yeah, I think if we had gotten like Joe Tooney, and then you wind up getting so you solve the guard position. Like at that point, I don't know if I would have gone guard at 23 or 34. I would have probably waited a little bit, and I would have pushed maybe edge rusher and cornerback higher on my list in the draft. And then with getting a second for Sam next year versus this year, that kind of changes my dynamic as well, because I thought for sure we'd get a second this season, not next year. And I think that
and I'm not really
throws my priorities for a loop.
Nobody's looking forward to the 6th that we got from Sam this year, but you have a lot to look forward to going to next year with the 2nd, 4th. So especially the 2nd. So
and then I'm hoping that Russell Wilson has some type of maybe he'll catch COVID.
That's
and then he gets an injury or something. Like, I don't wish injury, but like, maybe he stubs his toe and it like has turf toe, can't play for a little bit or something.
That would be
and then they just get a really nice pick.
That would be nice.
God, they only have 3 picks this year. They have 3 picks this year for the draft. The Seahawks do. Enjoy Jamal.
Bro, Ryan, listen to me. I really hope we start winning and the Seahawks start losing.
Nothing would make me happier. When I saw that brief rumor of like Adam Gase potentially going to the Seahawks, I like almost wet my pants. I was like, please let it happen.
I did not think Pete Carroll would say Gase. I seriously doubt it.
Yeah, no, there's no way. It was just all. I think it was more so New York media just firing darts at like Jamal Adams. Like, no, Adam Gase might go over there. It's possible. It's like, oh man, Sam Darnold could get traded there, and then all this stuff winds up happening. Oh man, how did you feel about the Sam trade? Talk to me about that.
Listen, man. Listen, I've been saying this whole offseason that I prefer Wilson or Fields because I just think they're more valuable than Sam. But listen, man, I'm gonna miss Sam a lot, bro. I've been one of Sam's biggest supporters. I am really, really gonna miss him, man. I really wish him nothing but the best in Carolina. I was a little emotional the other day. I'm just a big Sam supporter. I'm just one of those fans. I've always liked Sam ever since he became a New York Jet, and I really hope he breaks down up in Carolina. I really, really hope, man.
I really want to see him have the best career possible. As much as it would hurt me to see him have success with Robbie Anderson and with Matt Rule, because it's like what the Jets could have been 2 years ago without Adam Gase. Yeah. But I wish Sam nothing but the best. And brother, thank you so much for joining the show. You've been ejected from the cockpit. There's got to be a faster way to eject people with like this thing, other than me clicking on this and you seeing my little window pop up each time. You guys are gonna have to let me know. Do you like the video chat aspect of this, or should I go back to the phone calls? You'll have to let me know. What do we got? Marty Thompson coming in, and Broadway Joel. Don't you worry, I see you sitting over there. I'm gonna get you in on the next one. Marty Thompson comes in with a super chat. Says, "Good day, mate. Aussie Jet in the house. Take Zach, then trade one of the next year's first round picks with this year's 23rd and get Sewell. Let's do it. Your thoughts, Marty? No." no, I'm not giving up a first round pick next year. You're not getting all the way up to where you're going to have to get Sewell. Sewell's going to be, I think his floor is the Bengals at 5. So unless you're trading up to the top 4, I don't see it happening. And I don't see Douglas wanting to give up that many draft picks. I do like Sewell though. There's like this thing that everyone's all jazzed up about with the tackles and having 2 stud bookend tackles. And now you don't have to worry about things. You have Becton, who looks like he's going to be legit. And then you bring in a guy that's considered like the best tackle prospect to come out in a very long time. So I understand it, but no, I don't want to go that route. I would like to, I see Douglas as more of a trade down guys than anything else. Brianna R. Del Toro, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, why not Kyle Trask at number 2? I don't want Kyle Trask at number 2 because no one else has him at number 2. And just watching him, not that I like dislike him, but I really like Wilson. I really like Fields, and I really like Lance a lot more than him. Even Mac Jones, you could probably get me on board a little bit more than Trask. Now Trask at 34, if like something wound up going crazy and the Jets traded down, I don't know. Look, there's no way. If the Jets need a quarterback, take the quarterback at 2. If they fell in love with Trask and that was their guy, but by all means, I guess make the pick. But man, I'd be so sour on that. I really would be upset. I think you have to. Although I guess if the 49ers end up taking, who is it? Mac Jones at 3, when I thought he would have been like a mid first round pick. I guess there's nothing wrong with saying Kyle Trask a little bit higher than normal, but no, I like the mobility that Wilson and Fields and Lance provide that Trask does not. Trask and Jones both feel like they're more statue-esque quarterbacks. But I appreciate it, and I like the question. Nonetheless, guys, if you want to join the show, all you have to do is put this link into your phone or browser. You also have the pinned comment in the live chat. You can see that as well if you just want to click on that and join the show. But up next, we got Broadway Joel. Broadway Joel joining the show. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right. First time, long time. I can never get through the call, and I'm glad I got through with the,
Dude, that's why I like this format a little bit better, is because it seems like I can get through each thing a little bit faster, because the calls, I'll see like a zillion calls coming through, but none of them ring on my Google Voice, and it's super frustrating.
Yeah, this is much better. I know you were asking before. This is much better.
I love it. So what's on your mind?
No, I've been a Jet fan my whole life, as you are, but I feel like we need to caution our optimism with Joe Douglas. I feel like we're very, very, just trust Joe Douglas. Oh my God. Like, he got us Becton, and Becton, I'm a big fan, but statistically, he was the 3rd best tackle out of the 4 best tackles. So, again, I want to preface by saying I'm a big Becton fan. Mims, he traded down. He could have got Claypool, who had way better numbers, and Mims was hurt a lot, and Mims only had like 300 yards. I see the potential in Mims, but I'm not,
I'm excited for Mims. I like the few games we saw from him last year. I wanted Mims so badly in the second round. When he traded down, I was like, no, that was my guy. Come on.
I wanted Claypool, and he trades down, and then the next pick, Claypool gets taken. So I had the opposite reaction. I'm like, oh my God, we trade down literally the next pick. He goes down, and he has a great year. So, and then he signed a bunch of these offensive linemen, and we had one of the worst offensive lines. Before the season, he was like, people are counting us out, and you'll see this year. And we did see. Look, we ended up with the number 2 pick. Like, so
it doesn't sound like you're a big Douglas like lover right now. I just like it seems like you're a little bit on the salty train.
No. What I'm saying, I'm more so like, why are we so trusting of this guy? In Joe we trust. Like, you do know he was the general manager last year, right? You do know that we went 2-14, right? Why are we so? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I think a lot of people are shifting the blame entirely on Adam Gase, and that's probably not
There we
100%
go.
fair. Like, I think there's
Exactly.
probably a large portion of the blame that should go his way. I think a lot of blame does have to go towards Sam Darnold as well. I think just getting the new head coaching staff and getting a new quarterback, that alone is going to help a lot. And it's going to hinge a lot on how Douglas looks, because if his picks look better this year 2, with the new quarterback and everything, I think people will have more faith in him. If they wind up having a better quarterback situation, but Becton continues to get hurt, Mims, doesn't, go off the way we're hoping, I don't know. But I think you're right to question the amount of trust that Jet fans have in Douglas at this point.
Yeah, and another thing, switching topics a little bit, but I see a lot of people at 23 or want to pick a defensive guy. I'm like, no.
Are you talking about my mock draft? Is that what you're talking about?
Everybody, O'Leary, the only one who I agree, who somewhat were connected, is me and Green Bean. Like, we need offensive line. Like, that was the problem with Darnold. I feel like people overrate that Darnold didn't have weapons, because last year, his weapons weren't great, but they, when Flacco came in, he did okay. The problem was with Sam Darnold has always been the offensive line. So we're gonna draft Wilson, and all right, we drafted you. Everything's gonna change. We're gonna put you in. We signed these bunch of wide receivers, but all right, we're gonna draft a defensive guy at 23. It's like, why would you do that? If I would go 23 and 34 offensive linemen. We're gonna suck this year anyways. Might as well have a good offensive line, keep your quarterback clean, and we'll build off that. But I'm not worried about our defense. Like, I'm scoring. I feel besides Sam Darnold, when was the last first round pick that was an offensive guy?
It doesn't happen. It's like, it's always quarterbacks that we wind up taking. I mean, having Becton last year was huge. I do think there is part of me, if they're okay moving on from McGovern as center, going Creed Humphrey at 23, Wyatt Davis 34, I could get on board with that. If they were just like, hey, we're rebuilding the offensive line in one shot, this is how it's going to happen, McGovern, you're kicking over to guard, I could roll with that. I would have no problem with that. Brother, thank you so much for calling in. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. I have a good time with this. Guys, if you want to get in and you want me to hear your thoughts on everything going on in Jetland, all you have to do is put the link in the description down below. Not link in the description. The link in the whoosy what's it in your browser. Or you can click on the live stream, the live chat. There's a link up in the live chat that will allow you to see that as well. How's the quality of this? Like, how's the audio? How's the video quality? Because I think it's pushing out in 720p, which is a little frustrating. But I don't know. It looks a little fuzzy on my preview over to the side. Mike Lee says it looks pretty good. FM says awesome. Everyone looks great. Everything going swimmingly. Good quality. All right, cool. I like this. Now, you know what's going to happen. I screwed with so many audio settings tonight to make this work that I'm going to screw up all my audio settings tomorrow for the Talking Jets panel. And you guys are going to give me shit for not starting on time for that either. It's going to happen. Definitely going to happen. Liam says crystal clear. I like it. Oh, man. Who we got popping in over here? The Albino Dingo. Albino Dingo, welcome to the chat. Wow, crazy. I'm loving the costumes. I'm a big costume guy. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to wear a costume on this next live.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I've got a bunch of costumes that I have literally just sitting off in my closet. I got an Uncle Sam costume. I got a banana costume. I'm a big fan of snowboarding in costumes because I think it's just kind of fun and kooky. So that's why I have a bunch of weird ones.
Yeah, I got a bunch of costumes too.
Welcome
I'm just wearing the luchador mask because WrestleMania was yesterday.
WrestleMania was yesterday. That is true. So, I did not watch. I heard. How was it?
It was actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, very cool.
Anyway,
now what? Go on.
Anyway, I know. I think people are overrating Zach Wilson. I feel like people like you're kidding me. Like, people are saying that he's better than Trevor Lawrence. To me, that's insanity. I'm getting like flashbacks of Trevor Lawrence and not Trevor Lawrence, Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf, because there are people that were saying that that Ryan Leaf was like the better than Peyton Manning, and look what happened.
So do you think that there is a legit shot? I feel like with Ryan Leaf, the issue is more so his personality. I don't get the personality issues with Wilson so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that I really, I don't remember the Ryan Leaf draft. That was before my time of watching the NFL draft. I didn't start till probably 2003 or 4 watching the draft. But I can understand why people would be concerned about it. Like people are saying, oh, Zach Wilson could be number 1. Is it, some type of push for the Jets to create enough of a narrative that the Jaguars might think about going Zach Wilson? And would you be upset if like Zach Wilson like winds up going 1 and then you get Trevor Lawrence and you're like, oh, I was so sold on it, but now I'm happy we got him because it's Trevor Lawrence?
No, I'd bust a nut if we get fucking Trevor Lawrence.
It would be so exciting. I don't care who the quarterback is. I just want to have like relative success late in the season. Like come December, I don't buy season tickets. I don't buy like late season games because I know the Jets are going to stink at that point in the season. Like I'll go game 1 because there's excitement. But like every time they try to get me to buy season tickets, I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to be able to get that ticket so much cheaper because I know we're going to wind up stinking later on. Like I don't want to have that faith. I want to be excited.
Yeah, same. Also, I think I disagree with the last guy said. Like, I really want to. I think our corner situation is horrible. Like, we're really gonna put Bryce Hall as our number 1 corner. Who's our corner? We literally have no number 1 corner. I don't understand why Joe Douglas didn't go after anyone. We didn't even bring back Poole. Who do we have? Doesn't make any sense.
That's just it. Like Poole is not coming back, unfortunately. I really like him a lot, and I would have thought that he would have made a lot of sense to come back. But with us bringing in the dude from Atlanta and them letting Poole go from Atlanta just 2 or 3 years ago, look, I think we need a cornerback. We don't have any cornerbacks right now. I think you could plug in Richard Sherman for a year if you wanted to do that. If you really wanted to say, like, okay, we're focusing on the offensive line. Creed Humphrey, 23, Wyatt Davis, 34. And then, now you're pushing your defensive needs a year later, kicking it down the line. Now, maybe that is the way to go. Maybe that's like the smarter move. And then you take your cornerback and your edge rusher with your 2 first-round picks next year. I could see that, I guess. But man, if you don't have another cornerback, like I don't trust Blessed Austin to be the guy.
I don't trust him at all either. Like I think we just also like I understand guard is a big position of need, like, but I still feel like right now, like, especially with a new quarterback, but I feel like corner is a huge need. It's a huge need. I think for me, like at least Van Roden, he didn't play that well, but at least he's all right. We got Connor McGovern, but so we like we and who is one of our other ones? I think Alex Lewis.
We got Alex Lewis. I'm shocked he's still on the team. I thought we would have cut him to save some salary cap space, but I guess since we have enough salary cap space, they're going to roll with it and at least let him, I don't know,
I guess it's good to have
a starting job.
At least we have some depth, but we need, but we really, I know guard's a big need, but for me, corner is a slightly bigger need. Plus, at least, because I don't trust anyone like starting besides me, because I feel like, even though I liked Bryce Hall, especially getting him in the 5th round, that's really good. And he had played a lot of good games, but I still don't trust him being a number 1 guy. Like, not at all. And same with Bless Austin. We need a corner. At least I could, at least it's not like the end of the world for me if like Van Roden is playing. But so I would go with corner and then guard.
Yeah, that's kind of where I fall as well. And I also think that the value is definitely there with the 5th-year option as well. But brother, you've been ejected from the cockpit. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. Crazy mask. I love the people come on in costumes. We had Kylo Ren on before. Ridiculous. You guys are crazy. Oh, man. We got 12 minutes left in the show. This has gone a lot faster. Primarily because I did not start this until 15 minutes, 20 minutes late. It was pretty bad. Robbie's asking, is there a 10 o'clock mock? Robbie, there will be a 10 o'clock mock tomorrow. I forgot to create the preview page for it. So I haven't done it, but there will be a 10 o'clock mock tomorrow for sure. Richard says, hopefully JC Horn falls to 23. That's what I really want. I think JC Horn really fits the best for our system, being the guard corner, being the zone corner. What I really like about him, and I saw this the other day, in like 249 passing snaps or whatever he wound up going up against, he allowed 8 receptions all year last year. That's insane. That is wild. That is why he deserves to go a lot higher than 23. I don't know. Oh, it looks like David is about to join. Let me just check my private chat. David, hit me up in the private chat if are you good without the video, or do you want the video on? I'll throw you on next. Let's see. He's going to drop a comment. Maybe. Possibly. Ali's in the chat. What's up, Ali? How you doing? How you doing, brother? Oh, David clicked out of his little thing. I can't add him on anymore. That's all right. No problem. I'll just keep rattling stuff off. Ryan says guard at 23. Kelvin Joseph at 34. Go until 10:10 because you were late. Okay, you know what? I'll go till 10:10. We will go longer than that because I screwed up. I took longer than I should have. So that'll be my penance for going on late. FM says we need a nickel corner. Guess who is available, guys? Our favorite Jet, Buster Mother Truckin' Screen. It was cut from the Bears. No! For the love of God, please do not. My buddy Johnny P. Let me see if I can put your comment up on the screen. I'll put it up as soon as it pops up, John. So I won't talk about it until it pops up on my little side panel here. So that way everyone can see it. Mike Lee says Humphrey at 23. Been there in every mock Ryan. Yes. Creed Humphrey. The only reason I didn't take Creed Humphrey at 23 in my mock draft is because it seems like the Jets like McGovern as center, and I think they want him to be the long-term answer there. Who knows? I could see him go that way though. I would take Creed at 23. Actually, in the mock draft I did with Green Bean and Matt, I had the Jets pick at 23, and that's who I took. I took Creed Humphrey there. I wanted to beat him. I wanted to get him instead of the Steelers, just one pick behind us. All right, Johnny P drops in with a super chat. Johnny P, my brother, says, have we not learned from Darnold nothing else matters but protecting Zach after drafting him? Edge and cornerback are riskiest positions in this draft. Yeah, I'm not sold on a ton of the edge rushers in this draft. And cornerback, there's a lot of guys that are injured. So if you wanted to say Creed Humphrey 23, Wyatt Davis 34, and then kick the can on cornerback and edge rusher until 2022 when we have 2 first-round picks then, okay, I'm all right with that. I can definitely live with that. I'm cool with surrounding our quarterback with as much talent to help him succeed as possible. So if we didn't take a defensive guy at all in this entire draft, you won't hear a peep from me about it. It's not the way I would go about it, but it's definitely a route the Jets can take. All right. I see Johnny T and David waiting in the wings to come on. Do either of you guys want to have your camera on? I see neither one of you have your camera on. Let's see. Johnny T, none of your devices are connected, it says. So I don't know. Johnny T is there goes the mic. Okay. So Johnny T coming in. What's up, Johnny T? How you doing? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. I'm trying to hang in there as best I can. What's on your mind?
Nothing. I wanted to go back to what one of the guys was saying about Douglas, which I kind of agreed with. That I think Jets fans are kind of giving Douglas, I guess, the crown before he's really. I mean, obviously, you need longevity to prove that he's a good GM.
Sure.
But when he traded back and missing out on Claypool, I think that was definitely a big negative.
So do you think do you have faith in Mims at all? Or like, I was super high on Mims. Like, that's who I wanted at that pick instead of Claypool. I mean, I like Claypool too. I would have been happy with either one. Watching Claypool go one pick later, and then I think it was, who was the corner that was available at that point that I was really like high on, and then he winds up going like shortly after. I was like, oh man, it's literally just Mims. That's all I want at the end of, when we get to our next pick.
Yeah. So my theory on that is if he wanted Mims, I think he would have taken him there. I don't think he would have had the foresight to trade back and then, I know Mims or Claypool or whoever he wanted still going to be there. I think had he wanted Mims, I think we moved back. I think it was like 10 spots or something like that, right? If I remember correctly.
I think we fell from 48 down to 59, maybe. I think that was the move. It was somewhere around 10 picks.
Right. It was a decent amount. So I think if he was really that high on Mims, he would have taken him there.
Mm-hmm.
And because he traded back, I think he kind of said, oh, well, Mims is still there. We need a receiver. Let's take him. And Mims, I know a lot of people have been very, very high on Mims, and he has shown flashes. But I think a lot of Jets draftees are always that way. They show a flash, and then they never really pan out long term. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be like Sheldon Richardson or just whoever. There's all kinds of different people that have done that.
I was a big Sheldon guy. I liked Sheldon a lot. Now, when we got towards the end of his stint with the Jets, it just seemed like it made more sense to move on from him. Like, we just couldn't use anyone the right way. Our GMs since probably Tannenbaum have been pretty bad. Like, and even Tannenbaum towards the last part of his stint with us was not very good. The biggest things for him, I feel like, were the Revis draft, the Mangold, the DeBrickshaw Ferguson draft, and then after that, it just sort of like Dustin Keller was like, eh. And then Kyle Wilson was like, eh.
But again, those guys showed flashes, They showed flashes, and everyone at the time was very hyped up on him, especially Dustin Keller. I mean, at least I was. I thought he was going to be really good, and turned out to be.
I was shocked
mediocre.
He did not. Yeah, he couldn't stay healthy, and then he just never seemed to quite have it. And I don't know if some of that has to do with, Mark Sanchez being the quarterback, or I don't know. I just didn't feel like
Mark Sanchez was he was the Achilles heel of that team. Everybody else was stacked.
Yeah, number one offensive line, number one defense, number one running game. Like, we should have gotten to the Super Bowl if we had kept Favre for one more year and he stayed healthy, or Pennington, either one of them. I think we go to the Super Bowl that year.
Well, having said that, though, Mark Sanchez always played good in the playoffs, though. So
that's true. It was really I want to say it was the defense that let us down in that Steeler game in 2010. Yeah, that was the year. If there was one of those 2 years that I thought the Jets could have got it done, it was that one.
That was a great year. He beat, Brady and Manning in the playoffs? That's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's how it went. I want to say it was Manning week. Was it Manning? Or was that the...
I think it was... I can't remember who was first, but we beat the Patriots. Was it
Rivers?
And we beat...
The Patriot game. The Patriot game the week before was one of the best games I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
that was just
really
so much fun.
One. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it was great.
But if he was able to beat Roethlisberger and make it to the Super Bowl, that would have been pretty impressive for a very average quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would have been really impressive considering all the success that Big Ben has had and that franchise in general. And then that was against the Saints? That would have been the Packers Super Bowl, I think, that they wound up winning, right?
Yeah, I think we would have got stomped. But
yeah, I feel like both years the Jets almost made it. It was like the Saints and the Packers. I was like, oh man, both those teams are loaded.
Yeah,
it would be so tough to beat either one of them.
That'd have been rough AFC Championship games. But anyway, yeah, like Douglas, I got a lot of hope for him. I hope he nails this draft. I think if he nails this draft, he can kind of solidify himself as, yes, he is legit. I think this is a very important draft for him. Obviously, he's got to get the QB position right. I'm a Zach Wilson guy. And then that second pick is really pivotal as long as that first.
Brother, thanks so much for the jacket from the cockpit. Oh, see, this is just the fun of being able to click is a lot of fun. David, I'll get to you in just a second. I just want to acknowledge RJ McPot super chat. RJ coming in says, "Will you promise to talk infinite shit to EDP 445 once we whoop Philly this season?" Oh, I've actually never talked to EDP. I don't know if he knows who I am at all. He's massive. He's got like 1 million followers or something like that, or 1 million subscribers. he doesn't strike me as like the guy to talk Philly sports. I guess like when I think Philly sports, I think of Philly 500. When I think of like skits and like ridiculousness, then I kind of think EDP. so maybe I don't know. If he wants to do something, I would do something with him. I think he seems like a pretty good guy. He's ridiculous. It's in a good way. All right, David, joining the channel. David, what's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Not too bad. How you feeling about this draft, the Sam Darnold trade, everything going on in Jets world?
Love the draft upbeat. Didn't like your draft so much today. I think you're overrated.
I feel like I'm going to get that a lot. Oh, see, it's so tough for me. What do you want to do at 23?
The number one priority has got to be Creed Humphrey. Now, if Creed's not there, then you trade back.
I think he will. I think Creed will be there. I think like the Steelers are the pick for me for where I see him going, and that's I think pick 24. The only reason I didn't have us pick Creed, and I should have added this in the video and I didn't do it, is because it seemed like they weren't interested in getting Corey Linsley, which maybe that just means they wanted to draft their center anyway.
But you got to understand that Pittsburgh doesn't have the money to sign him.
No, I know that. Pittsburgh has the money to get Creed, like has the draft pick to get Creed Humphrey.
No, but they didn't have the free agency money to sign Linsley.
No, but the Jets did, and the Jets didn't want to go after him. So in my thinking with that is that the Jets did not want to kick McGovern over to guard, and that's why they may not go with Creed Humphrey at 23. Whether that's right or wrong,
I think they'll do it for Creed Humphrey.
I would be excited for that. If you could get me the next version of my boy Nick Mangold at 23, I would be very, very happy. And then what would you do at 34? Would you roll with the guard?
Trade back. Do not be surprised if Trader Joe trades back multiple times and acquires a lot of depth pieces.
Now, what do you want to do at 34 then? Like, let's say we get Creed at 23. What's the pick?
Well, I just did a draft where Creed wasn't available at 23. I traded 23 for 36, 81, 231, and 258.
Mm-hmm.
And then grabbed Farley at 34.
So you then came Farley back. So if Farley falls that far, with me, the only reason I like Farley is because it's a top 10 player if he's healthy, like top 10 drafted player if he's healthy, at a position in need, and we've already made our first pick in the first round, and we have pick 34. So I think the risk reward is there.
Yeah, now, if you get him at 23, if it's a choice
but you think you get him at 34?
Farley has a better chance of sliding to 34 than Creed Humphrey does.
I agree with that. Now, but do you like a cornerback at 34 that is not named that is not named Caleb Farley, that you would be okay with if you drafted Humphrey at 23?
No, no, you trade back, and at that point, I'd rather take someone like Gregory Rousseau, who is sliding down. The reason being is because we had no edge rushing presence either on the left or the right side. It put more pressure on the cornerbacks and exposed them for what they were.
Yeah, right? I think rusher, if we can get some edge rushers in here, especially, I'm excited for Vinny Curry and Carl Lawson because I think it's the first time we've had some stable of edge rushers coming in that could help our cornerbacks like tremendously. If you can get pressure on the quarterback, it's going to make all your cornerbacks play better.
No, absolutely, and it won't expose them. It won't expose them to the degree that they were last year. But that being said, we still need a shutdown corner. We still need a slot corner. We still need some safeties. And you're right about the linebacker. I just don't. I wouldn't have gone as high as you did, where you took the kid from Alabama.
The linebacker you're saying, Moses?
Yep. Yeah, Moses.
Yeah, I don't love – I guess with my thinking in this is that we have the former linebacker coach in Salah, so I feel like he'll want to bring in someone. Now, maybe Gerard Davis is that guy. It could be it, and maybe he has faith in Mosley, and we're just going to roll with Mosley. But I get the feeling that Mosley's going to get cut after this season, and
No, you're right
we're
about
going to need
that.
some. I think we need some type of depth, and I think we'll go higher than a lot of us want on linebacker.
Yeah, if we can trade back and acquire, an extra second or third, maybe we can get someone like a Cox, who I absolutely love and think she's a stud. Now, on the offensive line
Brother,
side,
thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Oh, David. I see. I love seeing the hands fly up in the behind the scenes thing. David, thank you so much for the call, brother. That was absolutely awesome. Lots of good points there. Lots of good points. All right. We are at 10:04. We've got 215 people hanging out on the stream. We've got 86 likes. Drop a like on the video, boys and girls. Drop a like. I want to see it get over 100. It's always nice to see this. Let's see. I'll do one more person if someone wants to join in for this last part of the stream. Got no one else queued up at the moment. So if someone wants to jump in, we can talk a little bit before I hop off. Other than that, I'll take a look at the chat. Andrew McAllister says our O-line is not shambles. Adding one great offensive lineman at 34 would be great. It's a team and out. And our head coach is a defensive coach. We know we can't stop the pass with Harper, who played 8 games, and Austin. I'm confused. Bryce Hall? Is that what you're talking about? Harper. Mike Fowler. Wow. I did not expect that ejection from the cockpit. I love seeing it. I love seeing the chicken fly across the screen. It's just fantastic. Duncan says you are keeping people from being. Oh, I forgot Bean's got the 10 o'clock mock. Okay. That is true. Okay. So let's do this. Guys, you should go hang out with Green Bean. Watch his 10 o'clock mock. Dude's got some really great things. 4 more likes, though. Get me over 100 likes. I know you guys can do it. Got plenty of you dudes in here. Dudes and dudettes. Plenty of girls, too. All right. One more like, boys and girls. I see it. You got it in there. Let's see. I wonder if I can... Will you be able to hear my music if I cue it up? I don't know. We're over 100. There we go. See? Look at you go. When you guys say dual screen, Green Bean is mad at you're still going on, Ryan. Oh, sorry, Green Bean. I'm hopping off now. I forgot he does his stream Monday nights. All right, let's see. Do I got my little music going? Is it playing? I can't tell. Now I'm playing with the audio and everything's screwed up and I'm throwing things for a loop. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. No music. All right, boys and girls. I'm hopping out of here. I'm sure I'll have audio issues tomorrow with all the stuff that I was just clicking around and clicking off of. So we'll see. All right, boys and girls, go hang out with Green Bean. It's been fun. My name's Ryan, and I've been your pilot.